This is GlintPM. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Thank you. Hi, welcome back to our channel. In this tutorial, I want to explain the practical uh, difference between revised schedule and recovery schedule. So I will demonstrate how to do it practically in Primavera P6. Um, but before then, please subscribe, like, share for anyone that are interested in learning Primavera P6 or they want to transition into planning and project control career. So just relax, I'm going to take you through the process. But the first thing I want to show you, I know I've explained this before, baseline schedule, recovery schedule, and the other one is a revised schedule. The basic thing is that these three are related when you're doing recovery and when you're doing uh, revise. First, in one of my tutorial for the other tutorial series I've done, I explain the process on how to start a project from scratch until you baseline it. So if you have not watched that series, please go and watch it. So the basic thing that you follow the process to baseline your schedule. And baseline schedule is used during project initiation. When you're starting a project, which I've explained practically before in the other tutorial course, beginner for Primavera P6. Project initiation to set expectation for timelines, milestone, and deliverables. That's what baseline schedule is. It has as a reference point for variance analysis. So this schedule will be most of the time signed by both contractor and the sponsor. So thereafter it becomes a baseline schedule. So if you are changing any dates or anything from the baseline, then it has to be mutually agreed by both contractor and company before you make a change. So you don't change anything again, right? So the contractor agree with the client that the project will be completed in 12 months. This is a scenario, and this baseline schedule become the official target. So this scenario now it means you have signed a contract to complete your project in 12 months. This is an example here for you. Excavation by week 4, structure completion by week 12. That is your plan, right? Actual progress used to compare actual timeline against baseline. So when you start doing the job now, as we're going to see in my demonstration, you start updating your schedule. That will be actual versus your baseline. Okay. Next is the recovery. Now, after you have a baseline, you want to achieve uh, your schedule. As you can see right here, we are already behind because we plan to do these activities by 15th of September. Yes, we're able to start it, but we plan to finish by 11th of November 2025. But as it is now, if something is not done, these dates we're not going to meet up because we're already late by 6 days, being delayed as at where we are now. As at this date, today is 18th of October 2025, and we have planned to start this project on 15th of September 2025. But here we are in October and we have not met up with our plan, our target. So we need a recovery. for these activities, right? Same thing with these activities. When this activity is still okay, this particular activity review is still fine because it has not yet commenced based on our schedule, baseline schedule. The baseline date is 11th of November, so it's still fine. The baseline date is December, the baseline date is December to start. So all these are still fine, they're still okay. Okay, so I'm trying to check if there's other activity. So every other activity are still in December, so we're still fine. We don't have to worry about them. But this first one, we need to recover because there's already a delay. So we need, as a scheduler planner or the project engineer or the project manager, whichever is your role, and you're looking at the schedule, then you need to start thinking, what will you do to bring this schedule back on track? Otherwise, when one activity is delayed, it will impact the other activities. It will impact all the successors, especially if this activity is critical. As you can see, this activity is critical. You can see the bar is red. It has started but it has not finished. See the baseline is yellow on the Gantt chart. So you need to do a recovery. So that is what recovery schedule means. So by the time you are doing recovery, it means you already have a delay. You need to get the schedule back on track. So that is what a schedule created to bring delay project back on track by reallocating resources, rescheduling tasks, or compressing timeline. So this is a scenario. When you're watching the tutorial, you can read it and grab the concept. A construction project is behind schedule due to unforeseen weather delay. The project manager developed recovery schedule to meet the original deadline. So the original schedule foundation before recovery plan increase workforce or adopt. So basically, there are to two method of getting your schedule back on track. That is doing recovery schedule, and that is by either what we call crashing or fast tracking. Okay, so crashing is when you add more resources to the activities so that they can complete it faster, or you do the activity in parallel with another activity, and that is called fast tracking. So I'll demonstrate this to you later. So that is that about recovery schedule. Recovery schedule is bringing a delay project back on track through your schedule. While revised schedule is making changes to the already baseline schedule. So that's why baseline meaning the schedule is very important here. Okay, if there's no baseline, then you can't talk about revised schedule or recovery schedule because you can't even measure delay and you can't measure the original schedule that covered the scope. So in a revised schedule, you have a scope that you used to prepare your baseline schedule. However, the client or the sponsor now come and say, okay, we want you to remove social activities or we want you to add more activities. So in that case, it means the scope is being modified, is being changed. So then you're going to revise your schedule. So this is created when there are significant changes to the project scope, objective, or condition requiring baseline schedule to be replaced or modified. So this is situation. Let's just look at the example. Original project completion in 12 months. A right plan, new design for additional floor by month 6. Project completion is 20 to 15 months. So this is a major revision, right? Both the finish date is being changed, more activities are being added to the project. Therefore, the scope is being increased in this case. In some cases, the scope can be reduced. You can say, okay, no, we don't need to add this picture. We want to remove this picture. We want to, remove this part. And by so doing, we want you to change the schedule. We want you to modify the schedule. In that case, what you're going to have is the right schedule. So now let's now look at it. First, we look at the recovery. So as I've explained here, when you're looking at recovery, when you're doing recovery, first thing is you need to know your baseline. So already this schedule that I'm using to demonstrate to you, if you have been following my tutorial, you will realize that this is the tutorial, this schedule I use in the P6 for beginner tutorial series step by step. Like I said, you can go and watch it. And please remember to subscribe to my channel so that you encourage us to do more videos and help you to learn Primavera P6 or master some other skills or strengthen your skills in Primavera P6. Okay, so baseline, you look at the baseline date, I've added the column for start and the column for finish baseline. So for the project. However, when we start doing the actual, we updated this one. This one has started 15 as planned. The milestones to start the building as well started as planned. For the design building addition is 41 days. And out of the 41 days, so let me show you, you can see we have done like 50% of the job based on this parameter that I'm using. However, the best option here we have me changing this to, so let me just change it to physical so that you can I can demonstrate what I want to show you. So I'm changing this activity style to physical. Okay. Yes, physical. So physical now is all about showing the actual work that have been done, actual site work. So it's not going to be driven by duration, but the actual percentage that I enter. Okay, in my while updating. So right now the 50% has disappeared. Before it's giving 50% based on duration. But let me change it to 50% physical now. So for you to see the changes, let me run the schedule again. Okay, okay, yes. So yes, we are still having 17 of November instead of 11 of November for the completion of the project. Another thing is you should take notice. So we need to bring this back on track, right? So like I said, there are two methods that we can use to bring an activities that is already been delayed back to track. And one is fast tracking, the other is crashing. So in this case, because we have not really done much activity, we have so many activities here that you're updating, okay, then we are not yet in November. I'll be updating the schedule with you. So if you stay on my channel, by November or December, I'll do this schedule and still show you further recovery done if there's any delay, right? So just stay on the channel. But we're in October right now, and our planned activities for November for these activities have not started, so we can't really make any recovery because we don't have any delay, we don't have any issue. The only one we have issue with is activity PMG 1000, right? Which is a design building addition. Because looking at it now, although we have not completed this activity, but looking at it now, we are already having a delay of 6 days. Because it is supposed to start finish by 11th of November, but right now it's going to finish 17th of November. So if something is not done, we are not going to finish these activities as planned, and it's going to impact other succeeding activities. As you can see from the Gantt chart, is critical. So if it's critical, it means it can delay. This is delay can further cause a ripple effect and delay other activities. At the end of the day, we will not meet up with our project completion date in September 8, 2027. Already, it's taking us to September 14, 2027. That is 6 days delay, which is coming from just this activity. So imagine that you have this delay, you have further delay and the activity is critical. So you need to do something about it. So, and just by looking at this activity, what you can do is either right now is to crash these activities. So you crash it by adding more resources. So in this case, you cannot fast track because other activities that we can run it with. Yes, you can say, okay, maybe strategy and say, okay, instead of starting this, instead of, because right now the relationship between this uh, and building addition, that is review and approve design, is finished to start. So if the document we're producing is not just one and there are many, you can decide to say, okay, um, we will run some of this review in parallel with some of the generation of the document. So in that case, if we change this relationship to start and use lag, or we can decide to still use a lead here as negative flag and start this review and approve design before we finish design building addition. So we can still do fast tracking. However, the best thing to do in this case, since these activities are not even started, so we should not think of causing any issue to it because the best thing would have been that we'll finish this and we'll start this as planned. Okay, so we can just crash it, and for us to crash it, we look at okay, what's the original duration is 41 days on the detailed view. Actual, it was spent 25. So we still have like um 21 days remaining. And that is what is taking us to 46 and complete. So there are 41 days now, we are now having 46. So in that case, we need to look for more resources and add to the schedule and bring it down to remaining days so that we can compress it. That's what crashing means. Bring the remaining days to maybe um, 15 days. Let's see. So when I bring the remaining days to 16 days, you can see the finished date has changed to 10, but I want 11. So I can still adjust it to 17. So I'll just say this. So now we have this activity is finishing 11. But remember, the calculation will have been done for the number of resources you need to add for you to achieve this. It's not just doing it for the sake of, you know, the picture sake. It must be justified by the team or by the project manager and everybody concerned or working on the schedule to make sure that those resources are available, either it's equipment, manpower, or materials, to achieve this crashing. Okay, because now instead of 21 days, you're not going to use 17 days, and you have to look for other risks associated with these activities too. Okay, first is there's a delay. Delay analysis is another topic on its own. So we need to know the reason, the cause of the delay, the impact, and everything. So, but what we're just demonstrating is as a scheduler and planner here, how do you do your recovery if you have a delay in an activity? So right now we have gained our schedule back on track, right? So for me to see the changes, I need to run the schedule. So yes, so our project is now finishing September 8, September 8. So everybody is happy now. If you look at the Gantt chart, you see that the bars they are back on, on track. So they are back on track. So please have to do your recovery schedule. Okay. And for the revision, like I said, it means we are going to modify the schedule. We're going to be adding more activities. For instance, under foundation, uh, you start building construction, that's a milestone, site preparation, excavation, install the ground water line. So maybe this underground water line was planned to be installed, and instead of that, they now come out and said, no, mm, we wanted this to be underground before, but we done the risk analysis and some other things, and we decided not to make it underground. So we're not going to make it above ground. So we're not going to make it above ground water line. So right now, I've made changes. So this is no longer what we used to have. And instead of having 9 days, this one is going to take us more days or less. So the next is going to take us more days. Okay, so it's going to take us 10 days or let's say 15 days for us to achieve this one. So this is a complete change from what was baseline, right? And they now say, okay, these other ones, this circuit, we don't even need it. So we're not going to run any electric circuit anymore. So remove it from the scope. In that case, we just um, delete it. But there's something I would like to show you. There's a difference between delete and dissolve. So when you delete, it will delete all the relationship with it. But when you dissolve, the relationship will still be intact. So I'll just dissolve instead of delete. So I'll remove it. So this is no longer my baseline schedule. I've made changes. You see this one now, the baseline is, uh, I've made changes to these activities. So the baseline before is to finish February 24. It's not going to finish March. It's to start February 12, 2026, February 12, it's still fine. Okay, but the activities, the type of nature and type of activities have also changed. So, and they now say, okay, instead of the electrical circuit that we had before, had uh, um, had another activities and call it telecom. We want to have information. We want to be getting information from the facility. Okay, if there's any issue, we want people to be able to communicate. High telecom installation. So foundation. So we want to set up telecom foundation and everything. So just under this foundation, this needs to be added. And where is it going to come? So you should make the predecessor here is going to be excavation. After excavation, we start this foundation to use it for telecom. So let me run the schedule for you to see the changes. So right now you can see another baseline, you can see it's empty. So the duration of this, let's say, is going to be in 5 years. So right now our baseline dates no basically because it's not originally in our baseline schedule. This was added. So this schedule, entire schedule, has now become a revised schedule. So I think this is what I want to explain to you in this session. Thank you for staying. And like I said, please subscribe, turn on the bell so that you receive notification for the next video, and watch the other tutorials that I've done so that you can get a grab of this schedule. And I also have a copy if you want to practice that schedule in that tutorial series. The link is attached to one of the tutorials, so you just check them and enjoy the Primavera. Primavera is a very cool software. Yes, a bit tough to learn from the beginning, but by the time you start using it, you're going to appreciate it, you're going to enjoy it. Bye for now. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. This is GlintPM. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Thank you.